Hello everyone. Vanakkam. Month of April, decorated in the color of blue, is meant to understand autism. Autism, as we all know, has a range of behavior with impairment in social behavior, language and communication, and narrow range of interest in activities that are both unique to an individual and carried out repetitively. They may also have co-medical condition for which they need support for their diverse needs. A team of intervention involves different professionals with a complementary background and skills working together toward a common goal. Comprehensive intervention for autism spectrum disorder is required with expertise of professionals from multiple disciplines like special education, occupational therapy, speech therapy, clinical psychology, physiotherapy, and occasional instructors. So, this year, to celebrate the difference with the UN theme, Inclusion in Workplace on World Autism Awareness Day 2021, National Institute for the Empowerment of Persons with Multiple Disability, Chennai, presents a short video on expert
When a
talks.
child with autism comes to a speech-language pathologist, he or she may be coming with two concerns. First, the child may be non-verbal, as in 50 to 60% of the cases of children with autism, may not be speaking out anything. Or the child may be verbal, but may not be speaking as per the age-appropriate norms. So when children are non-verbal, it is not that children with autism choose to be non-verbal. There is a circuitry which ensures out that the language areas of the brain give enough commands to the speech motor organs to articulate a sound. There are conditions where the child can take up his tongue to clean out his alveolus or the backside of the teeth, but when you ask him to say tata or tata, cannot say, means cannot voluntarily take up his speech articulators to a particular place in his oral cavity, known as apraxia. Many children with autism would be having this apraxia, because of which they may tend to be non-verbal. They may be understanding you. We don't force them. There are alternate form of communication, AAC, alternate and augmentative form of communication, which should be tried out. Using out alternate communication does not reduce out the capability of the child to speak. Rather, would be facilitating out communication in the child. We should be trying out AAC with non-verbal kids. With children who are verbal, we should be using out specific techniques which are true for other children with language disorders in a particular way, so as to get the right kind of speech output done. May it be verbal or may it be non-verbal, gesture or picture pointing. You need two things. The first thing, when I am talking to you, you and me need to fix up on a particular topic. That is, a particular area in our mind has to be kept vacant, where what is being said goes in, the past memories come up, it's processed out, and we reply to each other. That means we should be having our attention fixed on a particular topic, known as joint attention, essential. The second thing is, my brain should be having this particular area which is kept free, where what is being said is processed out along with retrieving out information from my memory. So this is known as working memory space. So working memory space and joint attention. These are the two things which are essential for any form of communication to happen. So the moment your mind is clouded up with n number of other information, which may be sensory inputs or which may be thoughts, the working memory space gets smaller. So your real-time responses are reduced. There are many children with autism who may be shaking up their body like this because they have a poor joint sense, poor proprioceptive integration. They may be just looking out like this because, or they may not be looking at you because they have a poor integration of the visual inputs. They may be suddenly doing out a sound like this because They have a poor auditory integration issue. So these sensory integration issues need to be addressed out. A good joint attention needs to be developed out. A proper working memory space has to be crafted out. These three things can be done by a speech language pathologist by choosing out the right kind of activity as well as by reinforcing the child appropriately. Once this is done, both the verbal and the non-verbal communication for children with autism can be addressed too. It's challenging, but it can be done well. It can be addressed out both in individual setting as well as in group settings. This is what a speech language pathologist has to do with a child with autism. Thank you. And April is World Autism Awareness Day. From an audiological perspective, where we have to identify out the type and degree of hearing loss or how well the child hears different sounds, we need to evaluate the child in a sound treated room. The first consideration which we have taken in is to avoid claustrophobia and to avoid out some amount of a artificial environment. We have made the entire setup, you can see it's a bit mildly colorful, and then to avoid claustrophobia we have made the glasses transparent. You can have the outside view and the child doesn't feel as if he is in a very closed room. That's one thing. The second thing is that conventional pure tone audiometry, in which headphones are put down, the child is asked to raise up fingers the moment the child hears even the mildest sound, may not be responded to by a child with autism. So we have these visual response audiometries where we have the speakers which give in sounds, and the moment a particular sound is heard and the child localizes towards the speaker, a visual reinforcement, may it be a cartoon, may it be the face of the child, may it be face of some toy is given. So the child associates out that if he can hear the sound and localize it properly, he finds out a visual reinforcer. So VRA, visual reinforcement audiometry, is very helpful. Similarly, some children may like to just, we have found this particular Big Mac. It's just used to click on, yes, I heard it, I didn't hear it. Heard it, didn't hear it. Even this particular adaptive switch is found to be very useful, especially when ABR is to be done, auditory brainstem response is to be done, and the child is to be sedated out. It's better that the child is sedated outside somewhere, brought in quietly, and then you fix up the electrodes. Or the child is made to sit down in this room and he is made to sleep, and then you fix up the electrode. Because if the child is not agreeing to come into the room and you force out the child, then somewhere or the other we have found out that children tend to remember, and it becomes very difficult to sedate, make them sleep. They will be into the alert mode. So these are the few things which have to be kept in mind, and we should be knowing out that to use more amount of speech stimuli to evaluate out the hearing, because they have hypersensitivity towards certain sounds and pure tones may be irritating sometimes. So these are a few things which have to be kept in mind, especially from a audiologist perspective. Thank you.
Namaskar. ASD or Autism Spectrum Disorder, as we all know, is a condition characterized by deficits in social reciprocal communication and social interactions, and also by restrictions in the behavioral patterns or repetitive behavioral patterns are all seen in persons with ASD. And autism spectrum disorder, the key is that early identification and early intervention helps in curtailing the damaging effects of autism spectrum disorders in persons. Many of the studies have found out that early identification and intervention is the key in management of autism spectrum disorder. As the name indicates, it's a spectrum, and on one end of the spectrum you have persons who are thoroughly affected with all the symptoms of ASD, as I said, like social interaction deficits, behavioral issues, communication problems on one end. With other end of the spectrum, where we have high functional autism persons with Asperger's, and many of them are even counted in the genius group of category. So this is a spectrum of conditions. But as I said earlier, the key here is always early identification and early intervention. For that, every parent or every to-be parent should very well know the developmental milestones of their children. They should very well know when their child gives a social smile, when the child starts to speak one word, two words, when the child is attaining his neck control, when the child is able to turn around, when he is sitting independently, standing independently, walking, like that milestones every parent should be thorough with, and if there is any change in the developmental milestones, it should be taken as a heralding sign, and a medical consultation with a pediatrician should be made mandatory. Not just with this condition, also other high-risk predisposing conditions like prenatal, perinatal and postnatal conditions, wherein prenatal poor antenatal care and other similar conditions, infections, maternal infections, intake of teratogens by the expectant mother are all heralding signs for any such developmental disorder. Similarly, perinatal conditions also, a lot of perinatal asphyxias and even postnatal conditions like infections, there are a lot of such possibilities, intrauterine growth retardation, low birth weight babies, elderly priming state. So a lot of such things should also be kept in mind, and any person, any medical professional or any rehabilitation professional for that matter who is dealing with any child with developmental disorder should have such cautions in their mind, and if any of these high risk factors are seen, then a detailed investigation needs to be done, and a full-fledged intervention has to be given as early as possible, because as I said earlier, early identification and early intervention is the key to the prevention, or at least to the limiting of the damages of autism spectrum disorders.
Good afternoon everybody. I am indeed very much happy to share this message on the occasion of World Autism Day, 2nd April 2021. Working with adults with special needs for the past 10 years, there are a lot of things to be shared and deliberated among all my colleagues, particularly parents, stakeholders, employers, professionals. We all know there are various programs that has been rolled out, particularly from Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment for adults with special needs. One such program is Skill Development Program. Though this program has been rolled out in 2016, it has taken momentum in the last 1 year. Though COVID pandemic situation is there are a lot of changes that has taken place. Now it is the need of all our stakeholders, particularly professionals working with special needs, autism spectrum disorder, to carry forward this message. 1. January 2021, there is a specific job identified for persons with autism spectrum disorder. A gazette has been notified. If you see, there are more than 1,000 jobs across sectors, across discipline that has been identified. Now it is duty of each and every professionals to carry forward this message to the family members and to train adults with autism spectrum disorder in the particular field. We all know autism spectrum disorder, there are both the ends, that is a person with high functioning needs and a person with additional disability of intellectual disability. Now this job identification has been taken care across the spectrum. So let us carry forward with this mission. Second one, in the month March 2021, recognition of prior learning. This is a certified program where the students, though they have knowledge on a particular discipline, by giving a unified certificate, they can very well go and get observed in any industry, that is sector skill council. Either it may be a hospitality industry, food industry, or IT industry, any industry. So where we can train them, we can certify them, and we can place them. So this message also need to be carried forward through the parents, through the professionals, and through various organizations working for them. Third thing, though there are specific curriculum, that is syllabus for training on the courses, job roles that has been developed by Skill Council for persons with multiple disabilities, teacher training institutions or organization working for adults with special needs, it is my earnest request to become as a training partner. By becoming training partner, you are accredited by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment to become a recognized partner in training adults with special needs on this particular job roles. So you can very well visit our website, obtain lot of informations on how to become a ETP partner, or how to run a recognition of prior learning program, or how to identify jobs for persons with special needs in the government sector. You can also visit our website, particularly Department of Adult Independent Living, so where there are a lot of training, structured training programs are available for them. By doing this, we are making them life easier and independent and inclusive
So
society.
the awareness on autism is increasing more day by day. The UN declaration on the Autism Awareness Day is inclusion in the workplace, challenges and opportunity in the post-pandemic world. So including persons with disability everywhere, inclusive to make inclusive society. So inclusion of persons with disabilities in the job is necessary because they need a decent job and decent life. The role of special educator is very sensitive, very crucial, highly responsible. So they will be performing the multitask role of linking the various professionals and linking among the parent group to share their ideas, share the knowledge and benefit the entire group of autism spectrum disorders, person with autism spectrum disorders. So the prime role is to identify the appropriate service which is required for the children with autism spectrum disorders and developing the program for children with autism spectrum disorder, identifying the appropriate methods and strategies for giving the opportunities of learning the children with autism spectrum disorder and providing the appropriate necessary skills and the competence to the parents as well as the person with the disabilities to cope up in the society to lead an independent life. For that, so they need to make a broader linkage with various sectors, with various professionals, and they have to continuously or keep on updating the knowledge and skill so that the benefit goes to the field of special education by and large. Thank you.
I'm very happy to share today the message on this important day of World Autism Awareness Day of 2021. On this day, UN has given the concept that inclusion in the workplace, challenges and opportunities on post-pandemic world. We are all know that autism is a condition which creates a barrier in communication, activities of daily living, work, employment, skill learning, education in many areas. Today, very optionally, they are given the topic, the inclusion. When we talk about inclusion, the inclusion starts from family, the community, and society, and institutions like education, training, and employment. Whenever we say inclusion of persons with autism, we always think how best we can include the person in the society or in the workplace. The successful inclusion requires the proper environment, the people, the organization, the institution. And the real inclusion lies with the family, lies with the society, lies with the community, lies with the organizations. If these are the institutions understands the importance and understands the requirement of inclusion, definitely inclusion is possible, not just by saying that autism and inclusion. So we all work together to include the persons in our society and our workplace. Thank you.
A very good morning to one and all here. This video we are just sharing views on related to Autism Awareness Day. Here I am going to talk the role of physiotherapist in autism. Kids with autism has different motor issues. One predominant motor issue is low muscle tone. Children will have a low muscle tone, that is that muscle tone is slightly less compared to their normal counterparts, or so-called normal counterparts. Because of this lower muscle tone, there will be a problem in posture. So they need to be properly trained to have a good posture, or else because of postural they may have issues on the respiratory system, and body alignment issues may also occur. One more important issues which arises in autism is a motor planning disorder. The motor planning, what you say, you have something called as a very basic motor development. Basic motor development includes lying, rolling, sitting, standing, so on and so forth. Kids with autism does not have problem in basic motor development, but when it goes to advanced motor development, like for example riding a bicycle, or hip hopping, or any other balance kind of an issue, they may have an issue on those activities. So that needs to be addressed. So there will be issues on balance and coordination. So these areas are areas of interest where a pediatric physiotherapist works with kids with autism, so that a strategic activities can be given. A strategic therapy program can be planned to overcome these difficulties. The very important tool when we talk about autism is virtual reality based training, which we call a VRPT, because a virtual reality medium is child friendly basically. So it gives a more enthusiasm to the children to participate. And we also encourage kids with autism in hydrotherapy environment, because as usual any kids will be willing to play in water, and the water environment, the temperature, the flow, the buoyancy, all those things actually act as a effective medium, so that the child will be much participating into it. So apart from it, we usually give other therapy program which is called as a neurodevelopmental training program, which all actually complements in developing motor strategies for kids with autism.
Personally, first I'm happy that today we are speaking more about the autism, and the concept of autism awareness has really made a very drastic influence into the society in the process of understanding these children with autism spectrum disorders. So with this initial note, I would like to explain what is the role of a clinical psychologist in handling children with autism spectrum disorders. Basically, when a child with autism spectrum disorders do enter in our clinics, we first tend to understand the child holistically, because children are not in parts. Unless and until we try understanding them as a whole, we may be incomplete in handling or providing appropriate service to them. So in that connection, as part of a very structured program, we begin with a basic set of assessments. These assessments are basically useful for these kids, one, to understand their level of functioning, and second thing, for the certification procedures. When we say for the level of understanding, we tend to assess these kids at two different levels. One, their cognitive component, and second thing, their level of pathology in relation to the autism. Because it is understood that most children with autism spectrum disorder will have some sort of intellectual issues. Knowing their intellectual or cognitive functioning is a very essential part of assessment. Once we get to know what is the level of functioning with the cognitive abilities, then we move on to understand the level of symptoms or the pathological aspects of the condition. There are various levels ranging from mild to severe of children with autism. What we basically need to understand is that not all children with autism are with intellectual disabilities. Though sometimes they may not be able to express their intelligence because of autism, which has been shadowed very severely, we need to understand that they can have intellectual functioning like what you and me would be expressing to. In this connection, understanding their intellectual functioning makes a very significant space. So the intervention, the further intervention would be completely based on how we understand the cognitive abilities. So that is the reason the cognitive assessment is one of the core aspects of the assessment methodology. And second part, when it comes to intervention, generally there's always a request from the parents asking or complaining about various behavioral issues. Ultimately, we need to understand that all behavioral issues are not psychological in nature, because for example, if a parent complains a child is flapping the hands or not willing to touch some surfaces and so on, it might not be considered as a psychological reason, because a behavioral problem might have two different causes. One could be a sensory dysfunction, another could be a psychological reasons. Any problem confining to sensory dysfunctions have to be handled by an occupational therapist. So any behavioral problem that is caused due to a psychological reasons only will be handled by a psychologist. So understanding a behavior in a very systematic way is another important aspect in the intervention mode. So here we tend to systematically study the behavior patterns and see whether it was really a psychological problem or else it was just an attention-seeking behavior. So accordingly, the behavioral interventions are being tailored. Something which I would always stress to the parents is that when it comes to sensory integration, of course we have an occupational therapist. When it comes to a speech problem, we have a speech pathologist. When it comes to behavioral problem, we have a psychologist. When it comes to the educational needs, we have a special educator. When it comes to a medical need, we have some professionals from the medical field to handle all the requirements. But one thing what most parents forget is that these children have something called an emotional need. Most of the children with autism are deprived with emotional inputs. So you don't have a therapist anywhere in the world to inculcate appropriate emotions. So as a psychologist, I have been strongly advocating that parents need to work with the children and express a very positive emotions as much as possible. And as per the law of nature, what you sow, you reap. Only when you give positive emotions to your kids, you positively take back development. Society accepting them as a fellow human being is one of the greatest contribution what they can give it to these children. So with this great thought, let us continue our journey. Thank you.
I'm happy to be here to share my views as part of the Autism Awareness Day celebration. So the first thing is, as an occupational therapist, I would like to insist about our training process. Our training process is focusing on the work, ADL and leisure activities. The medium for the intervention or the training which we are using is play and purposeful activities. So here the purposeful activity varies based on the age group. So now the UN says we have to include all the categories of the individuals in the workplace environment. If I am an autistic person, if you are changing the environment which is comfortable for me, so I will be the best one in my work productivity level, so comparatively even the normal population. So how it would be? So as I am having the special characteristics like the repetitive behaviors that will enhance my productivity. So what else as an OT or as a rehabilitation professionals I will do is, first priority is to make them comfortable. Second one is, as I have mentioned, through the medium I am trying to enhance their performance skills. So I feel that if we are making these changes in their life and they will be the best people and their productivity level according to the work based on concept, they will be the best one. And I'm very happy to share my views.
So, as an occupational therapist, we are dealing more with the autism spectrum disorder children, and it's considered as a developmental disorder also. So here we are using the sensory integration as an approach, as an intervention process for them. So we are not going to cure the condition, just we are going to make them to adapt with the existing need and their capacity. So how we are going to train them? So how the sensors are going to make part of that? So sensory integration, in that we are having two types of sensors. One is basic sensors, another is hidden sensors. Under the hidden sensors, we are having two sensors. These are mainly operations. Here you can see a beautiful place as a sensory park in our special school, NIPMD. So here when you are seeing that so many flowers and different greeneries and trees as well as some plants have been incorporated, and when you are seeing the floors, there are different materials that have been given. So at the first one that I am standing is the rubber type of materials, and when we are moving on to this, the hard and brick type of material they have used, and few pillars they have been replaced, and as well as the normal grass, the natural grass they have been cut. So why we have to create such an environment for treating the autism spectrum disorder? So as they are mainly having a problem with receiving their sense and how to modulate and how to process that. So based on the processing, how they are going to give output. So this is the area where they are having issues. So when you are designing activities in this type of environments, so they are getting proper input, and based on their need, they are just observing the sensors that will helpful for them to provide a better movement as well as a proper development in also with the behaviors also. So when we are seeing the hyperactive kids or hyperactive kid or sensory seeking, so these are the different categories. They are doing it based on the sensory integration. So whatever the problem is, so when we are going with the proper planning as well as the goal fixing, so when we are using the sensory integration therapy, so they are getting a better improvement in this. So again, so we are having a better resources in our NIPMD, and we feel that sensory integration approach has been given for treating the autism spectrum disorder. And thank you so much.
Namaskar, wishes on the World Autism Awareness Day. Let's bring about awareness about the condition of autism that will lead to much more acceptance of children and adults with autism into the society. Let our society become an inclusive society. Children with autism, adults with autism become a part of us, which they are. The awareness will help a lot. Hope all of us join together and celebrate this particular day. Thank you.